Yuga Pariyat, 8th chapter, 17th verse. Sahasra Yuga Pariyantam. Trim Yuga Sahasrantam. Teho Ratra Vido Janaha. Sahasra Yuga Pariyantam. Aharyad Brahmano Viduhu. Ratrim Yuga Sahasrantam. Teho Ratra Vido Janaha. So, by human calculation, 1,000 ages taken together form the duration of Brahma's one day. And such also is the duration of his night. So, one day is 1,000 ages. So we're not talking about 1,000 years, 1,000 ages taken together is one day of Brahma. He had done that, 1,000 ages, that is 1,000 into 42 lakh years. 1 millennium is 42 lakhs. Like that, 1,000 millennium is one day of Brahma. Such is the duration of night also. Okay. Aditya, read. Read.
Sahasrayugaparyantam aharyat brahmano viduhu ratrim yuga sahastrantam teho ratravido janaha. Translation. By human calculation, 1,000 ages taken together form the duration of Brahma's one day, and such also is the duration of his night. Purport. The duration of the material universe is limited. It is manifested in cycles of kalpas. A kalpa is a day of Brahma, and one day of Brahma consists of 1,000 cycles of 4 yugas or ages: Satya, Treta, Dwapar, and Kali. The cycle of Satya is characterized by virtue, wisdom, and religion, there being practically no ignorance and vice, and the yuga lasts 1,728,000 years. In the Treta Yuga, vice is introduced, and this yuga lasts 1,296,000 years. In the Dwapar Yuga, there is an even greater decline in virtue and religion, vice increasing, and this yuga lasts 864,000 years. And finally, in Kali Yuga, the yuga we have now been experiencing over the past 5,000 years, there is an abundance of strife, ignorance, irreligion, and vice, true virtue being practically non-existent, and this yuga lasts 4,32,000 years. In Kali Yuga, vice increases to such a point that at the termination of the yuga, the Supreme Lord himself appears as the Kalki avatar, vanquishes the demons, saves his devotees, and commences another Satya Yuga. Then the process is set rolling again. These 4 yugas, rotating 1,000 times, comprise one day of Brahma, and the same number comprise one night. Brahma lives 100 of such years and then dies. These 100 years by Earth calculation total to 311 trillion and 40 billion Earth years. By these calculations, the life of Brahma seems fantastic and interminable, but from the viewpoint of eternity, it is as brief as lightning flash. In the causal ocean, there are innumerable Brahmas rising and disappearing like bubbles in the Atlantic. Brahma and his creation are all part of the material universe, and therefore they are in constant flux. In the material universe, not even Brahma is free from the process of birth, old age, disease, and death. Brahma, however, is directly engaged in the service of the Supreme Lord in the management of this universe. Therefore, he at once attains liberation. Elevated sannyasis are promoted to Brahma's particular planet, Brahmalok, which is the highest planet in the material universe and which survives all the heavenly planets in the upper strata of the planetary system. But in due course, Brahma and all the inhabitants of Brahmalok are subject to death according to the laws of material nature. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So even Brahma is subject to the birth and death cycle. It is said here, even Brahma is not free. Yes. Estvindra Gopa. But the verse is there in Brahma Samhita also. So right from an ant, Gopa means ant, to Brahma. Everybody is subject to birth and death cycle because this whole universe is made in such a way, material universe. So what is one day of Brahma? 42 lakhs multiplied by 1,000. Such is the night also. So into 2 you have to do. And such is one day. So 1 year multiplied by 365 multiplied by 100 is the duration of Brahma's life.
My God.
Yeah, my God. That is how the butterflies also, when they see us, they will also say, oh my God. Avyaktavyakta sarva prabhavantya ratragame pralayante tatraiva vyakta samyaka. Avyaktavyaktayaha sarva prabhavantya ratragame pralayante tatraiva vyakta samyake. So what happens in the day of Brahma? Avyaktat. From the unmanifest state, mute your phones. From the unmanifest state, Vyaktaha is living entities manifest. From the Avyaktaha, now they seem to be manifested. Now they are seen. Aha Agame. So this is in the beginning of the day. Then what happens at the night? Praliyante. Everything is again annihilated. From the manifest to again unmanifest. Unmanifest to manifest, manifest to unmanifest. This happens. Avyaktaha samyake. This is what is happening. In the night, everything is again merged into unmanifest. Okay, continue reading, Aditya.
Hare Krishna. Avyaktavyaktaha sarva prabhavantyah ragame ratyagame praliyante tetrava vyakta samyate. Translation. At the beginning of Brahma's day, all living entities become manifest from the unmanifest state, and thereafter, when the night falls, they are merged into the unmanifest again. Hare Krishna.
Bhutagrama sa evayam bhutva praliyate ratyagame vashappartha prabhavatya haragame. Bhutagrama sa evayam bhutva praliyate ratyagame vashappartha. Bhutaha gramaha. Bhutagramaha. The aggregate of so all the living entities put together, they come into being. Bhutva, then so the aggregate of all the living entities, evaha, ayam, bhutva. Repeatedly they take birth, pralayate. Again they are annihilated. When the night comes, ratrihi, agame. On the arrival of night, again they are annihilated. Avashaha partha prabhavantihi aha agame. So aha means daytime. Agame means on the arrival. On the arrival of the daytime, again they are manifest. Prabhavanti means manifested. Pralayati means annihilated. Same thing has been spoken from the manifest to unmanifest, unmanifest to manifest. So what is unmanifest? That is praliyate. What is manifest? Prabhavanti. Okay, Saurabh Prabhu read.
भूतग्रामः स एवायं भूत्वा प्रलीयते रात्र्या गमे वशः पार्थ प्रभवत्य हरागमे. Again and again, when Brahma's day arrives, all living entities come into being, and with the arrival of Brahma's night, they are helplessly annihilated. The less intelligent, who try to remain within this material world, may be elevated to higher planets and then again must come down to this planet Earth. During the daytime of Brahma, they can exhibit their activities on higher and lower planets within this material world, but at the coming of Brahma's night, they are all annihilated. In the day, they receive various bodies for material activities, and at night, they no longer have bodies but remain compact in the body of Vishnu. Then again, they are manifest on the arrival of Brahma's day. Bhutva praliyate. During the day, they become manifest, and at night, they are annihilated again. Ultimately, when Brahma's life is finished, they are all annihilated and remain unmanifest for millions and millions of years. When Brahma is born again in another millennium, they are again manifest. In this way, they are captivated by the spell of the material world. But those intelligent persons who take to Krishna consciousness use the human life fully in the devotional service of the Lord, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thus, they transfer themselves, even in this life, to the spiritual planet of Krishna and become eternally blissful there, not being subject to such rebirths.
Okay. So annihilated where? In the womb of Krishna, in the stomach of Krishna. Annihilation happens in the stomach of Lord. But that happens only at the night of Brahma. So this is all small pralayas, not a big pralaya, a small pralaya. When the huge pralaya happens, everything is annihilated. Even Brahma is also annihilated. Everyone is annihilated. That is huge pralaya. This is all small pralayas. For a living entity, the first pralaya is losing one's body. That is the smallest pralaya for a living entity. And then afterwards, this whole earthly planet goes. The whole universe goes. Pralayanti means destroys. Destruction. Parastasmat tu bhavonyo vyakto vyaktat sanatanaham yassa sarveshu bhuteshu nashyatsu na vinashyati. Parastasmat tu bhavonyo vyakto vyaktat sanatanaham yassa sarveshu bhuteshu nashyatsu na vinashyati. So paras tasmat tu bhavah anyah. So paras tasmat. Para means transcendental. Transcendental to all these things. Avyaktaha, vyaktaha, all these things. There is an unmanifest eternal world which is beyond this material world, manifested, unmanifested matter that has been given. Sometimes it's manifested, sometimes unmanifested. Beyond this, there is an eternal manifestation. And na nashyatsu, that is never annihilated. Now, it is supreme, never annihilated. Even when all this world is annihilated, vinashyati, na vinashyati. This spiritual world or this eternal world is never annihilated. So here Krishna's superior spiritual energy has been spoken, which is beyond these three modes of material nature. So whatever changes is happening in this material world, sometimes manifest, sometimes unmanifest, all these things are just temporary. But beyond this temporary manifestation and manifestation, there is a transcendental spiritual energy, which always remains. When the whole world is also is annihilated, this part always remains. In the same way, whatever connected to this part is Bhakti. Bhakti is also never destroyed. Krishna says, Neha vikramana shasti satyavaya na vittite salpamapyasa dharmasya trayate mahato vyat. Even if you do a small thing, Krishna remembers. Devotion, devotional activities, eternal world is never destroyed. Okay, Pushpa.
परस्तस्मात् तु भावोऽन्यो व्यक्तो व्यक्तात् सनातनः या
Parastasmattu bhavonyo. Together you have to say. Parastasmattu bhavonyo.
व्यक्तो
So
व्यक्तात्
vyakta.
सनातनः
Hmm.
या सर्वेषु भूतेषु न स्यात्सु न विनश्यति. Yet there is another unmanifest
Again,
nature.
yaha. It was not ya. Yaha sa sarveshu bhuteshu yaha.
Yaha sarveshu
There
bhuteshu.
explicitly you should not do aha. Little bit. Yaha sa sarveshu bhuteshu, because it is coming in between. When it is aha comes in between, don't
Ah.
explicitly sound it. Very gently. Okay.
Yes, sarveshu bhuteshu nasyatsu na vinashyati. Yet there is another unmanifest nature, which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all in this world is annihilated, that part remains as it is. Krishna's superior spiritual energy is transcendental and eternal. It is beyond all the changes of material nature, which is manifest and annihilated during the days and nights of Brahma. Krishna's superior energy is completely opposite in quality to material nature. Superior and inferior nature are explained in the seventh chapter. Hare Krishna.
So that we saw superior, inferior nature. Bhumira ponalo vayu kammano buddhi revacha. You saw that? Open if you have forgotten. Open. Seventh chapter. Bhumira ponaro vayu kammano buddhi revacha. Ahankar itiyam me bhinna prakriti. Their apara shakti has been given. Para shakti apareyamitasvanyam praktim viddhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho yedam dharyate jagat. This is para shakti. That is superior nature, superior energy of Lord. Next. So, fifth and sixth. Okay. Avyaktoksha ityuktas tamahu paramam gatim yam prapya na nivartante tadhama paramam mama. Avyaktoksha ityuktas tamahu paramam gatim yam prapya na nivartante tadhamang paramam mama. Okay. So, avyaktaha aksharaha. Aksharaha means infallible. The eternal world is infallible, it is unmanifest. So, that is our destination, Gatim, Paramam Gatim. So, who speak about this? The knowledgeable people, the Vedantis. Uktaha, they say or they know about this. And then, Yam Prapya na Nivartante. Whoever goes there, Prapya, gains that, na Nivartante, does not come back again. Tadhama Paramam Mama. You know what is that world? That is my world, Krishna says. Paramam Mama. That is my home, my world. Here Krishna introduces. The people talk about that superior eternal nature. People talk about that infallible, unmanifest, supreme destination. And that destination is my abode. Here Krishna very explicitly says, Dhama Paramam Mama. Mama means mine. Now, Nirvishesha or Nirakara, or you can say, if there is no form, a formless person cannot say mine. Only a person can say mine. So this itself shows Krishna is a person, because he says that is my abode. Again, abode is also not formless. It also has a form. The person is speaking, that means he is also having a form. You have an object, you say this is my object. Naturally, the object has a form, and the person who says is also has a form. So in this way, Krishna very clearly says that abode is mine, and that abode is Paramam. Paramam here refers to beyond the three modes of material nature. That is the meaning of Paramam. Paramam. Paraha. Paramam. You see in the previous verse, Palastasmat Paraha. Paramam. Okay. Hari Chaitanya Prabhu, please read.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी अव्यक्तो अक्षर इत्युक्तमाहु परमां गतिं यं प्राप्य न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम paramam mama. That which the Vedantists describe as unmanifest and infallible that which is known as the supreme destination, the place from which having attained it, one never returns. That is my supreme abode, purport. The supreme abode of the personality of Godhead Krishna is described in the Brahma Samhita as Chintamani Dham, a place where all desires are fulfilled. The supreme abode of Lord Krishna, known as Goloka Vrindavan, is full of places, palaces made of touchstone. There are also trees called desire trees that supply any type of eatable upon demand. And there are cows known as Surbi cows which supply a limitless supply of milk. In this abode, the Lord is served by hundreds of thousands of goddess of fortune, Lakshmis, and he is called Govinda, the primal Lord and the cause of all causes. The Lord is accustomed to blow his flute, Venum Kwanantam. His transcendental form is the most attractive in all the birds. His eyes are like lotus petals, and the color of his body is like the color of clouds. He is so attractive that his beauty excels that of thousands of cupids. He wears saffron cloth, a garland around his neck, and a peacock feather in his hair. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna gives only a small hint of his personal abode, Golok Vrindavan, which is the supermost planet in the spiritual kingdom. A vivid description is given in the Brahma Samhita Vedic literatures, Katha Upanishad 1.3.11 state that there is nothing superior to the abode of the Supreme Godhead, and that abode is the ultimate destination. Purushan na paramam kinchit sa kashtha paramam gatihi. When one attains to it, he never returns to the material world. Krishna's supreme abode and Krishna himself are non-different, being of the same quality on this earth. Vrindavan, 90 miles southeast of Delhi, is a replica of that supreme Golok. Vrindavan, located in the spiritual sky, when Krishna descended on this earth, he spotted on that particular tract of land known as Vrindavan, comprising about 168 square miles in the district of Mathura, India.
Okay. Purusha sa parapartha bhaktya labhyastvaya tvananyaya yasyanta hastani bhutani yena sarvam idam tatam. Purusha sa parapartha. Wherever this para comes, understand it is supreme. It is indicating supreme. Purusha sa para. Which para? Supreme person. Purusha. Supreme personality. Purusha sa para partha bhaktya labhyas tvananyaya. Ananya. Ananya means ananya bhakti. Unalloyed devotion. Undeviating devotion. Labhya. Only by devotion one can attain Lord. Yasyantahasthani bhutani. Antahasthani. He is situated in everyone's heart, within everyone. He is present in his abode also. At the same time, he is present everywhere. Sarvamidam. That is why his name is Vasudeva. Vishuddha Sattvam Vasudeva Shabditam. Bhagavan Tattva. Vasatiti Sarvatra Vasudeva. Brahman Tattva. Sarvamiti Vasati Vasudeva. Paramatma. Remember, Vasudeva. When this word Vasudeva comes, immediately remember. Yes, Vasudeva's son Vasudeva. But Vasudeva also indicates three aspects or three features of Lord. Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. When you have to say about Bhagavan, then how you will say Vasudeva? Vishuddha Sattvam. Vasudeva Shabditam. Vishuddha Sattvam. Who is beyond this, even the modes of goodness. Beyond even mode of goodness is supreme goodness or the transcendental goodness, Vishuddha, Vishesha Rupena Shuddha Sattvam. So that is for the Bhagavan aspect. Vasati iti sarvatra. He is present everywhere. He is present everywhere as Brahman. Then sarvam iti vasati. He is present in everyone's heart also. Sarvam iti vasati as Paramatma. So the Lord is present in his abode. The Lord is present everywhere. Lord is present in everyone's heart. So that Supreme Lord can be attained only by undeviating devotional service. Ananyaha Bhakti, where there is no deviation, no interior motives. Okay. Anuj Prabhu, please read one paragraph purport you read, and then Mayur Prabhu will continue.
Okay,
Yes, read.
पुरुषः स परं पार्थ भक्त्या लभ्यस्त्वन्यया यस्यान्तस्थानि
Tvananyaya,
भूतानि
Tvananyaya,
येन
Tvananyaya, Tvananyaya.
अन्यया यस्यान्तस्थानि भूतानि येन सर्वमिदं
Sarvam,
ततं
Yena
सर्वं
Sarvam Idam
विदत्
Tatam. Okay. Read.
Translation: The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotion. Although he is present in his abode, he is all pervading and everything is situated within him. Purport: It is here clearly stated that the supreme destination from which there is no return is abode of Krishna, the supreme person. The Brahma Samhita describes this supreme abode as Ananda Chinmaya Rasa, a place where everything is full of spiritual bliss. All the uh, variegatedness manifest there is of a quality of spiritual bliss. Nothing there is material. That uh, very variegatedness is expanded as a spiritual expansion of Supreme Godhead Himself. For the manifestation, there is totally of spiritual energy, as explained in chapter 7. As far as this material world is concerned, although the Lord is always in His supreme abode, He is nonetheless all providing by His material energy. So, by His spiritual and material energies, He is present everywhere, both in the material and in the spiritual universes. Yasantva sthani means that is everything is sustained within him, within either his spiritual or material energy. The Lord is all pervading by these two energies. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Continue, Mayur Prabhu.
To enter Krishna's supreme abode or the innumerable Vaikuntha planets is possible only by bhakti, devotional service, as clearly indicated here by the word bhaktya. No other process can help one attain that supreme abode. The Vedas, Gopala Tapani Upanishad 1.21, also describe the supreme abode and the supreme personality of Godhead. Eko Vashi Sarva Gah Krishna. In that
Eko Vashi Sarvagaha Krishnaha.
Eko Vashi Sarvagah Krishnaha. In that abode, there is only one supreme personality of Godhead, whose name is Krishna. He is a supreme merciful deity, and although situated there as one, he has expanded himself into millions and millions of plenary expansions. The Vedas compare the Lord to a tree standing still, yet bearing many varieties of fruits, flowers, and changing leaves. The plenary expansions of the Lord who preside over the Vaikuntha planets are four-armed, and they are known by a variety of names. Purushottama, Trivikrama, Keshava, Madhava, Aniruddha, Rishikesha, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Sridhara, Vasudeva, Damodara, Janardana, Narayana, Vamana, and Padmanava, etc. The Brahma Samhita 5.37 also confirms that although the Lord is always in the supreme abode, Goloka Vrindavana, he is all pervading. so that everything is going on nicely. Goloka Iva Nivasati
Nivasatyakilatva bhutaha.
Bhutaha. As stated in the Vedas, Shvetavadara Upanishad 6.8.
Shvetashvatara.
Shvetashvara.
Shvetashvatara.
Shvetashvatara Upanishad 6.8.
Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate. Swabhaviki Jnana Bala Kriya cha.
His energies are so expansive that they systematically conduct everything in the cosmic manifestation without a flaw, although the Supreme Lord is far, far away. Correct.
That's why Ishapanishad speaks Taddure Pradantike. Even though you may be far, you are very near also, Lord. Taddure. You are far, but you are very near. Where is Lord? Generally we look up. He is inside you also. He is everywhere. So in this way, Lord is far, at the same time, Lord is very near. Now Krishna is going to explain the different times at which the yogi, whether he comes back, whether he does not come back, all those things. Yatra kale tvanavrittim avritti chaiva yoginaham prayata tam kalam vakshyami bharatarshabham. Yatra kale tvanavrittim avritti chaiva yoginaham prayata tam kalam vakshyami bharatarshabham. Yatra, which time, kale, anavrittim, he may not come back, he will not come back, and avrittim, he may come back. Yoginaha, the different kinds of mystics, prayataha, after leaving the body, yanti, attain. So which time, if a yogi leaves the body, he may not come back, that means he need not have to come back in this material world, or he may have to come back. So what is the time that we'll be discussing? Okay. Palash Mataji, read.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yatra kale tva
Vanavrittim
anavrittim avrittim
chaiva yoginaha
dinaha prayata
yanti
yanti ta kala
tam kala. Read properly.
tvam kala
Prayata yanti tam kalam
prayata yanti tvam kalam vyakshami bharata shabha.
Should practice more.
Yes,
Verses
Mataji.
should be read properly. Should practice more. So you can see Devanagari font, the Balram font, Devanagari Sanskrit font. Balram font is the English font. When you are seeing Yatra, you know to read even English also. Yatra, Kale, Kale. Tvanavrittim, how it is broken. Okay, Tvana. So you have to join it. Tvanavrittim. Then Vrittim has been taken. So Ma has been broken into Vrittim, and A. And A. So Avrittim, Avritti, Chaiva, Yogina. What is so hard in reading? You should carefully read. Prayata, Yanti, Tam Kalam, Vakshyami, Bharatar Shabha. Okay, read further.
O best of the Bharatas, I shall now explain to you the different times at which passing away from this world, the yogi does or does not come back. The unalloyed devotees of the Supreme Lord, who are totally surrendered souls, do not care when they leave their bodies or by what method. They leave everything in Krishna's hands. So easily and happily they return to Godhead. But those who are not unalloyed devotees and who depend instead on such methods of spiritual realization as karma yoga, jnana yoga, hatha yoga, must leave the body at a suitable time in order to be sure of whether or not they will return to the world of birth and death. If the yogi is perfect, he can select the time and situation for leaving his material world. But if he is not so expert, his success depends on his accidental passing away at a certain suitable time. The suitable times at which one passes away does not come back and are explained by the Lord in the next verse. According to Acharya Baladev Vidyabhushana, the Sanskrit word Kala used herein refers to the presiding deity of time.
The presiding deity of time. So it is
Hare
a
Krishna.
yogi expert yogi who can decide his time. The going time is so expert, he knows what time he should leave the body. Bhishma Pitama is an example. Haridas Thakur is also example. But if a yogi is not so expert, then accidental passing of his body. So what is an accidental passing of the body? Suppose he passes during the daytime, Shukla Paksha, Uttarayana, then he is sure to attain the Supreme Brahman. Agnirjyotirih Shuklaha Shanmasa Uttarayanam Tatra Prayata Gachanti Brahma Brahmvid Brahma Vido Janaha Agnirjyotirih Shuklaha Shanmasa Uttarayanam Tatra Prayata Gachanti Brahma Vido Janaha. So Brahma Vido Janaha. So an expert yogi who knows Brahma Vidaha, who knows the absolute truth, he can go to the absolute. How? By passing in the day, he leaves his body during the daytime, or Shukla Paksha, the white fortnight, then Shat Masaha, the 6 months, Uttarayanam, that is the sun passes on the northern side. Then in this way, if he passes, he can attain the Supreme. He knows the Supreme, that is more important. More than what time he is leaving, he should know the Supreme also. So he knows the Supreme, that is how he can attain the Supreme. And he gets a wonderful, auspicious time. Okay. Shilpa, read.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, read.
Agnirjyotirah Shuklaha Sanmasa Uttarayanam Tatra Prayata Gachanti Brahma Vido Janaha. Those who know the Supreme Brahman attain that Supreme by passing away from the world during the influence of the fiery god in the light at an auspicious moment of the day, during the fortnight of the waxing moon, or during the 6 months when the sun travels in the north. Purport. When fire, light, day, and the fortnight of the moon are mentioned, it is to be understood that over all of them there are various presiding deities who make arrangements for the passage of the soul. At the time of death, the mind carries one on the path to a new life. If one leaves the body at the time designated above, either accidentally or by arrangement, it is possible for him to attain the impersonal Brahma Jyoti. Mystics who are advanced in yoga practice can arrange the time and place to leave the body. Others have no control. If by accident they leave at an auspicious moment, then they will not return to the cycle of birth and death. But otherwise, there is every possibility that they will have to return. However, for the pure devotee in Krishna consciousness, there is no fear of returning, whether he leaves the body at an auspicious or inauspicious moment, by accident or arrangement. Hare Krishna.
So the last line is very important. For the devotee, for the pure devotee in Krishna consciousness, there is no fear of returning, whether he leaves the body in an auspicious time or inauspicious time. Doesn't matter for a devotee. Because he always chants the holy name of Krishna, so everything is auspicious. There's nothing inauspicious for a devotee. So this then is desired by the yogis actually. Those who do not know the personal form of Krishna. They are only into merging into Brahman. That is why here it said Brahma Brahma Vido Janaha. So here the subject is Brahma. Brahma means the Supreme Brahman. Merging in the Supreme Brahman, attaining the transcendental nature. The Supreme Brahman is also transcendental only. Dhumo Ratri Satha Krishna Shanmasa Dakshinayana Tatra Chandra Tatra Chandramasam Jyotir Yogi Prapya Nivartate Dhumo Ratri Satha Krishna Shanmasa Dakshinayana Tatra Chandramasam Jyotir Yogi Prapya Nivartate. Dhuma means night, smoke, night. Ratri. Tatha Krishna, Krishna Paksha. That is waning moon. Krishna Paksha, dark moon. Shatmasa Dakshinayanam. During the Dakshina, that is the sun passing on the southern side. Tatra Chandraha Chandramasam. So in this way, the sun passes to the south, reaches the moon planet. So this person who goes in this way, then he has to come back again. Dakshinayanam, then Krishna Paksha, Ratri, then he has to come back. But for a devotee, again, these two things doesn't count. Devotee can go at night also. Devotee can go in the Dakshinayanam also. There is nothing inauspicious for a devotee. He is always chanting the holy name of Krishna. Today all the devotees in Thane and nearby and some devotees from far also, outside Mumbai also, they were chanting 64 rounds. Because we want to really tell to the whole world what Krishna speaks about Mahatma. Mahatma nastu maam partha daivim prakriti mashrita bhajanya mananya manaso gyatva bhutadim abhyayam. He always chants the holy name of Krishna. Then only is Mahatma. Not that Srila Prabhupada says about Gandhiji, it's not Mahatma, it's Duratma. Very clearly has been spoken by Srila Prabhupada. Because one who does not take the ashray of the holy name of Krishna, how can he be a Mahatma? Because according to Krishna, it is Mahatmanastu Mam Partha, Daivim Prakritim Ashrita. He has taken the shelter of the Daivi Prakriti and always chanting the holy name, Bhajanya Mananya Manasaha, Gyatva Bhutadim Apayam. In this way, he knows about the Supreme Lord. So this word Mahatma applies to the devotees. And for the devotees, there is nothing like auspicious and auspicious. Everything is wonderful. Pushpa, read.
धूमो रात्रिस्ततः कृष्ण सन्मास दक्षिणायनम् तत्र चन्द्रमसं ज्योतिर्योगी प्राप्य निवर्तते. The mystic who passes away from this world during the smoke, the night, the fortnight of the waning moon, or the 6 months when the sun passes to the south, reaches the moon planet but again comes back. In the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Kapila Muni mentions that those who are expert in fruitive activities and sacrificial methods on earth attain to the moon at death. These elevated souls live on the moon for about 10,000 years by demigod calculations and enjoy life by drinking somaras. They eventually return to earth. This means that on the moon there are higher classes of living beings, though they may not be perceived by the gross senses. Hare Krishna.
Shukla Krishne gati hete jagatah shashvate mate ekaya yatyana vrittim ananya vartate punah. Shukla Krishne gati hete jagatah shashvate mate एकया यात्यना वृत्तिम् एकया यात्यना वृत्तिम् अन्यया वर्तते पुनः अन्यया वर्तते पुनः. So one is Shukla Paksha, one is Krishna Paksha. Two ways of passing. Gatihi ete means two. Two ways of passing this in from this material world. One is in the light, one is in the dark. Vedas speak about this. This is the opinion. What is the opinion? One who goes in the light does not come back. One who goes in the dark returns back. Okay. Saurabh Prabhu, please read.
शुक्लकृष्णे गतीयेते जगतः शाश्वते मते एकया यान्त्यनावृत्तिम् एकया यान्त्यनावृत्तिम् यात्यनावृत्तिम्
Navrittim Anyaya.
अन्यया वर्तते पुनः. According to Vedic opinion, there are two ways of passing from this world, one in light and one in darkness. When one passes in light, he does not come back, but when one passes in darkness, he returns. The same description of departure and return is quoted by Acharya Baladev Vidyabhushan from Chandogya Upanishad. Those who are fruitive laborers and philosophical speculators from time immemorial are constantly going and coming. Actually, they do not attain ultimate salvation, for they do not surrender to Krishna.
Okay. Naite Sruti Partha Janan. Naite Sruti Partha Janan. Yogi Muhyati Kaschana. Tasma Sarveshu Kaleshu Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna. Naite Srushti Partha Janan. Naite Srushti Partha Janan. Naite Srushti Partha Janan. Yogi Muhyat. Saurabh, mute your phone. Yogi Muhyati Kaschana. Tasma Sarveshu Kaleshu Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna. Naite Srishti Partha Janan. These two paths. O Partha. Janan. Janan means even though he knows. Who knows? Yogi. Here which yogi has been mentioned? Bhakta yogi. Bhakta. The devotee of the Lord. Muhyati Kaschana. Na Muhyati Kaschana. He is never bewildered. The na comes here. He is never bewildered. Kaschana. He is never bewildered at any time. Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu. Or Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu. That means at all the time. Yoga Yuktaha. He is always engaged. Yukta means engaged in Krishna consciousness. That is how, because he has become fixed up in devotional service, he is never bewildered. Every path is wonderful. This is auspicious, that is inauspicious. The type of attitude is not there for a devotee, because for him, if he is not chanting, there is inauspicious time. Every time is wonderful. Every place is wonderful. Sometimes we get bewildered. Oh, this is inauspicious, that is auspicious. Just chant the holy name, that is enough. Gaur Kishore Das Baba used to go and chant the places where people used to defecate. Only there he used to not be disturbed. That is why he used to go and chant Gaur Kishore Das Baba. Just because such pure devotees, exalted personalities, for them there is nothing like inauspicious, auspicious. That is absorbed in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay. Mayur Prabhu, read.
नैते सुति पार्थ जानन् योगी मुह्यति कश्चन तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु योगयुक्तो भवार्जुन. Meaning, although the devotees know these two paths, O Arjuna, they are never bewildered. Therefore, be always fixed in devotion. Purport. Krishna is here advising Arjuna that he should not be disturbed by different paths the soul can take when leaving the material world. A devotee of the Supreme Lord should not worry whether he will depart by arrangement or by accident. The devotee should be firmly established in Krishna consciousness and chant Hare Krishna. He should know that concern over either of these two paths is troublesome. The best way to be absorbed in Krishna consciousness, to be always devoted in his service, and this will make one's path to the spiritual kingdom safe, certain, and direct. The word Yoga Yukta is especially significant in this verse. One who is firm in yoga is constantly engaged in Krishna consciousness in all his activities. Sri Rupa Goswami advises Anya
Anasaktasya Vishayanitharhamupyunjata. Anyhow, you are going to study all these things. This is from Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. What is Yukta Vairagi, what is Falgyu Vairagi, and you have studied this also in the 6th chapter. The purport it has come. Anasaktasya Vishayanitharhamupyunjata. Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagi Uchate. It has come. What is Falgu Vairagi? Prapanchikataya Buddhya. Hari Sambandhi Vastuna. Mumukshubi Parityago. Falgu Vairagi Katyate. Open in the 6th chapter and try to memorize these two things. What is Falgu Vairagi? What is Yukta Vairagi? Vairagi means one is renunciate. How is he? He has renounced by dovetailing everything in Krishna's service. That is known as Yukta Vairagi. One is he has renounced everything to such an extent he renounces even the things which is connected to Krishna. Oh, prasadam, this food. Considering prasadam to be an ordinary food. Prapanchikataya buddhya, prapancha buddhi. For him, everything is prapancha. Once one of the Jain monks told me, I had taken class in a bungalow and they were residing. I told, why don't you come to the Bhagavad Gita class? They said, we don't hear from prapanchas. I said, what? What is prapancha? They said, you're wearing colorful dress, that is prapancha. And exactly that time, the same two verses were there. After that, these two lady monks, they joined the class. I don't know, coincidentally, the same verse was there. Prapanchikataya buddha. Everything is prapancha, prapancha. Hari Sambandhi Vastuna is also prapancha. What Bhagavad Gita has to do with white color or black color or yellow color? There's nothing to do. You just have to sincerely serve the Guru Shishya Parampara. That is enough. Okay, read.
one should be unattached in material affairs and do everything in Krishna consciousness. By this system, which is called Yukta Vairagya, one attains perfection. Therefore, the devotee is not disturbed by these descriptions because he knows that his passage to the supreme abode is guaranteed by devotional service. Hare
Okay,
Krishna.
stop here. Any questions you can ask. No questions?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Uttarayana is in the month of January, no? And
It starts.
Dakshina, it starts
It starts from January to January 14th. It starts. February, March, April, May, June.
June.
From June onwards to December starts Dakshinayana. In between.
Mataji, can you please also explain about Krishna Paksha and Shukla Paksha?
Krishna Paksha is waning. Shukla Paksha waxing. The dark moon and the Purnima. When from the Purnima it reduces to Amavasya, from Amavasya to Purnima. So generally from Krishna Paksha is not considered to be auspicious. Shukla Paksha is auspicious because the moon is growing in size. Here it is reducing. Okay. So if you chant the holy name, you don't have to think so much. Vishnu Bhakti Jai Shri Bhakti Jai.